I will change my... There we go. Now we can hear.
I don't know what just happened, but we're going to cue the music.
I don't know what we're yelling about! We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
Look, we're gonna have company! Loud noises!
Hello.
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 I am a Kendall Richardson.
I'm a Fulya and
And I am the man that's now got my earbuds back in. But it also says that I was using the wrong thing for before, but that's all right. Michael Lester.
Great. And you are now experiencing a podcast called Fred.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, experiencing it. Oh
yes.
dear.
Yes.
It's one of them nights. It's one of them nights.
Yes, I mean, I almost said I've been a Kendall Richardson at the top of the show, so we're doing well.
Died. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
You've been?
We're dark. We're dark.
Would have been past tense.
I mean, I was just trying to say my outro was my intro, but hey, fully went straight to I'm dead.
Look, I'm direct, all right?
Get to the point.
Get to the plot.
Get it. Yeah. At last, a plot. Oh, boy. Speaking of plot, do we have one? I don't think so.
No.
But apparently at this point in the show, I asked Fulya for her weekly watching, so let's go with that.
Cool. Well, I watched the Spycross Family Code White movie, and that was good fun. Really enjoyed that one. It's definitely a good watch on Crunchyroll at the moment, so go check it out if you have. I've been continuing my watch through of Frieren, speaking of anime, and that has been quite the journey. It's been really fun. It's been really, really nice, actually. Like fantasy adventure kind of anime, and I really love it. So I'm really enjoying that. But this is going to blow both of your minds the moment I mention this. I've been watching something that you would never believe that I have watched. I'm getting ready for a certain show that's coming soon.
Oh, come on.
And I have watched part 1 of The Last of Us playthrough.
Yes! Let's go!
Wait. Was that playthrough?
The playthrough, yes. So the cinematic cutscenes that happened,
I'll take it.
And whatever bits of playthrough that kind of coincide with the story, I watched it all this week. That is the one main thing I've been doing.
I love it. I love it. I love it a lot.
Yes.
My God. Our April and May is going to be insane on this podcast.
So
okay.
Pray tell,
yes.
Why?
I'm on PlayStation podcasts and they keep pressuring me to watch the damn things. I'm like, or play the games. I'm like, I'm not going to play the games. And now that I've seen it, I definitely won't be playing the game. 100% no.
I'm a big fan of the zombie horror.
No, thank you.
Survivor.
Watching it was enough anxiety for me, so playing it would be detrimental to my health. So, yeah. Interesting story. Now I kind of understand why a lot of people have been hyping up this game a lot. I kind of knew where it was going. I didn't expect certain things to happen at certain points. But I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know where in the story it was going to happen. And yeah, man, Ellie can really kick ass by the end of part 1. Very good at pretty much surviving, essentially. Surviving and fighting.
Did you also watch the DLC as well?
The cinematic cutscenes that I watched was for the remastered version of the game.
Okay.
So I don't know if that includes the DLC or not.
With
No idea.
Ellie's backstory before Joel.
No, I don't think I got that.
Okay,
It was literally
you should watch
just
that.
yeah. I literally just got like the Last of Us Part 1 remastered version. Whoever the person was on YouTube, they literally cut it all together so that you get all of the cutscenes and still a bit of the gameplay that still makes like it's part of the story.
It would
and
make
makes
sense,
Yeah. But they cut out a lot of the fluff, essentially.
yeah. the boot leather.
Yeah. But yeah, so that start scene, like the start of the game, poor. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite sad.
It's very intense. Yeah, but it's a very good story.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Mm.
And so with that, I will eventually, I think this week, hopefully I'll be watching part 2. So that I can then, when Max arrives in Australia this week, I can watch the HBO show. 'Cause
Yeah.
season 2's coming. So I can now be part of the conversation.
Hell yes.
You'll
Join
be
us
where I
in
am.
our join us in our heartbreak. Amazing.
Because
But don't tell my co-hosts on the PlayStation Drive. They don't know.
that's all right.
Okay.
I don't think there's cross pollination with that. Stuff.
The Venn
No, they're
diagram
all-
is
It's
not.
all
as
right. They're all
big.
still sleeping anyway.
Yeah.
That's exciting, Fulya. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm broadening my horizons a little bit with my
This is
watchings.
So would
This
that
is the
be a
beginning.
popcorn
No.
culture?
No horror. Don't expect actual proper horror stuff that I'll be watching or hack and slashes or whatever. It's not going to happen.
Oh,
This
no,
is
no, no.
specifically because it's got story to it.
Yeah, and it's a game adaptation.
Exactly.
It's like Mario.
It's like Mario.
It's like
So
Mario
like Mario.
and
100%
Sonic.
like Mario.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Don't worry. We're gonna have to have a group meeting about what the fuck to do for popcorn culture in April and May, because there are gonna be 3 shows airing at the same time now, not just 2, 3. So yeah. So
Okay.
we'll just maybe have to take turns. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have it
true.
up into 3 and get rid of some stuff.
Yeah, cut out some segments, I guess.
What
maybe.
are we watching? These 3.
Everything. Yeah.
I mean, the other thing we could do is maybe, every second or third week we talk about a chunk of episodes from one show and then a chunk of episodes from another show. So that could also work.
Oh yeah.
That also could work.
Yeah.
That also could work. We'll figure it out. Behind the scenes talk.
We need
Fun
charts.
I'm very excited though for
We
you.
need
It's
graphs.
exciting.
That's all
Charts
I've
and
been watching.
graphs.
I've been trying to catch up on that. 5 hours worth of playthroughs, cutscenes is what I did this week, and I finally did it.
Yeah, it's a big watch.
Yeah.
Number 2
Very
is
big
even
watch.
bigger.
Good job. Yeah.
That'll probably take me a couple of weeks then. But we'll see.
Nice. I'm glad you've taken the plunge. Thank you. That's great.
Yes.
All right, Mike. What have you been watching this week?
Well, what I've been watching, pretty much one thing, because I finally sat down and watched season 1 and season 2 of Severance.
Making Kendall
was
happy
my-
all night.
That was my 5 hours of watching everything. I
Oh.
just scraped by. I just watched the last one today.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a TV show to binge watch. You need to sit with it for a bit. So
Yeah.
I'm drained, I say.
I see.
And yeah, very very stimulating. And sorry, my earbuds are going all screwy. Yeah, the hype is real. The hype is fantastic, and still more questions. Like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I think you might enjoy it, Fulya, but I don't know. There's bits and pieces that are a bit, but yeah, very mindfucky.
Very
and my
mindfucky.
and my mind is fucked. Hence why I couldn't really speak this morning. And
Okay.
at the start of the well, what's going on? Am I an idiot or an outie? Yeah. I'm happy that I watched it, but I probably need probably a week to digest it fully. And happy that there's a third season coming out, because you can't end it like that.
No,
I mean,
that ending is insane.
I mean, the ending for the first season was bad enough. It was like, ooh, and you had to wait for 3 years for the next one. Ooh.
Yeah, I had to wait. I can't remember how long it took me to watch the first season after it aired. Because I remember watching it after it aired, but it might have been in 22 or 23. So yeah, I've waited at least 2 years to watch it. So yeah, that was painful. That was, but it was worth it. It was worth it, I'll say.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it didn't skip a beat going into season 2. So I'm happy with that, and it's fantastic. Everyone in it is great. There's no real there's no real lag, but there's a lot of tension within scenes that if your mind can't really wander, which is good, because I was trying to watch it while working at the same time, but I just couldn't do it. I had to do it in my breaks. so I had to sit down and actually watch it, because it reminded me a lot of, like, yeah, Twin Peaks, especially the second season of Twin Peaks, and how cinematically it's great and captivating, and it just washes over you. And yeah, it's good. So I still need to sit on it. But the other thing I watched is Daredevil. I'm still watching Daredevil too. And finally, the devil is back and the king is back.
Yeah. Wow.
It's
wow.
great. What about you, Kendall? I can't read. Don't leave me hanging.
Don't leave me hanging. Yes. Yeah, Daredevil. Can I just say, sneaky Marvel, sneaky Disney, dropping 2 episodes in one day. I did not expect that. It was so funny. I literally got home from work that night, put it on, finished the first, like, episode 6 or 5 or whatever it was. Anyway, watched it, and then I'm sitting on my phone, like, waiting for the. You know how you sometimes. Well, I mean, I do. I just wait for the credits to lapse in, so it will automatically trigger the next episode to load up in a week from now.
Yeah.
It just kept playing, and I was like, wait. It really caught me off guard. And then I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, we're spoilt this week. Yeah, 2 very good episodes. Just a slight spoiler. It was really awesome to see Kamala Khan's father in this, working at the bank that Matt Murdock tries to get a loan from. That was a
The
nice little
Human
piece of
Torch was denied a bank loan.
yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of that.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Spider-Man
Um,
can't get a bank loan either. Tobey Maguire's can't get it.
No,
Yeah.
she's not. Yeah, what? Friggin' Falcon couldn't get a bank loan.
Bank
in
loan. Yeah.
Falcon Winter Soldier.
Falcon.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was really lovely. That was a nice little bottle episode. And then for the next episode to kind of come out swinging, we finally kind of getting a good taste of what Muse is like in full form. And I'm really loving the direction the show's taking with it's not even like, I don't even know if you want to call, you could probably say that maybe Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock are two sides of the same coin now, because they both are going after Muse in this episode. They both having their different approaches to handling this serial killer that's, apparently been terrorizing New York for so long. He has over 60 victims. That was intense. But yeah, that was really cool. It was a good episode. It was really, really great. It was very violent, and yes, the devil is back. So that was good. Man, I just want to hug Matt Murdock. I just want to hold him, let him scream it out, let him cry it out, and then move on. Because it's just, I swear to God, every time this man puts the suit on, he's just screaming bloody murder at anyone and everyone. And I'm just like, oh God, Matthew.
He turns into a bit of a devil.
I suppose he does. But yeah, it was really, really good stuff from Daredevil this week. Another ripper installment. As for other things I've watched, I will just quickly mention, because I watched a fuck ton of stuff this week, so I'm just gonna go through, because it's a lot of it's stuff that I know you guys will be interested to hear from me about, especially one in particular that I can't wait. But I'll just quickly mention I watched another episode of Invincible. I only had time for one more, but it was the episode where Oliver kills the twins. And then it's just like, oh, he's a bit too much like his dad. I don't like this. It's scary. Yeah. So that was brutal and violent and unexpected. But hey, it's when you write a child with superpowers, shit like that's gonna happen, and they're not gonna understand what they're doing is wrong, and yeah. So, but good stuff.
Yeah,
good stuff from the Invincible world. I just wish I had time to fucking just binge it and get it done, because it's so good. And every time I have to step away, I'm like, oh no. But that's okay. Life is more important. I just wanted to quickly say I went to the movies this week, and I watched an indie film called Bob Trevino Likes It, starring Barbie Ferreira and John Leguizamo. And it's based loosely on a true story that happened to the writer-director of the film, where basically the main character, she's, she'd be a, what's Gen Z? Is Gen Z the one below us?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So she's like Gen Z, and her dad's a douchebag. Not the best father. He basically kind of uses her to like, get dates with women, and sort of in a weird way, and then gaslights his daughter into thinking that if the date doesn't work out, it's her fault, and blah blah blah. And then it's just this terrible thing, and she loves her dad so much she doesn't let go of the relationship, but then he fucking is just a douchebag. And she ends up reaching out to him on social media. She finds someone with the same name, but it's not her dad. And then she connects with this man, and they strike up a legit friendship. And it's just like the most wholesome, sweet thing, you know, because like this poor girl doesn't really have any friends either, or any other family. And so she's got really no one except for this man who she met online. And it's just kind of beautiful the way that life connected them, and how that pans out. And I won't spoil anything in case you guys ever see it, because it's a beautiful story, and I was in tears by the end. I was just like, oh god, I'm having emotions. But it was a very beautiful movie. So yeah, if you're a fan of wholesomeness and found family stories, I recommend Bob Trevino likes it, because I liked it. What else can I just quickly say? I should just quickly also mention I watched The Apprentice last night. Sebastian Stan as Donald Trump. Very good movie. I really liked it. The way it was shot, whatever. I don't know if they used like some kind of filter, or they shot it on actual film or something, but they made it look like it was filmed in the 70s and 80s and early 90s, and it was just very cleverly done. And just to see how the famous lawyer Roy Cohn turned Donald Trump into Donald Trump, and it's kind of scary, because like it's one of those stories of like, you know, he made an even bigger monster, right? And then the monster kind of betrays him in the end, and so it's a bit, but it's kind of it's scary, and it's too real. So if you don't like that kind of side of the world and politics and real life stuff, that's a bit maybe don't watch it. But I thought it was good. I liked it. I thought it was a fascinating story, because I knew a little bit about Donald Trump's upcomings, because I've listened to the Dollop podcast talk about him, and they kind of go into great detail about his life and what happened to his family. His brother died young, and all this stuff. So, but Sebastian Stan was fucking amazing as Donald Trump. Like, it wasn't a caricature performance. It was, you know, a genuine like inhabitation of the character of Donald Trump, and the way he kind of nailed some of his. I mean, we all know how Donald Trump speaks and the way he talks and stuff. But then to hear him speak that way, and to see how he learnt that language from Roy Cohn, is just kind of unsettling. So, but it's a good movie. So, I recommend it. But I will finish off my weekly watchings with the revelation that it finally happened, Mike and Fulya. I finally, thanks to my boyfriend, watched The Incredibles 1 and 2.
Oh my goodness, about time.
It finally happened.
Pixar's first family.
Yes.
Pixar's first family. Yes. Yeah, I loved them. I love them both. I thought they were really, really good. I knew I would. Like, that wasn't a question ever. It was just a matter of when I was going to watch these movies, and yeah, just to finally see it, and see some of the things that I've, you know, seen in the pop culture sphere online through memes and gifs and
Where's my super suit?
The general internet. Yeah, where's my super suit? I love the "we survived but we're dead." Like, that's always cracked me up, and now I know the context of that, which is funny. And then of course, no capes. No capes.
No capes.
No capes. Edna Mode is the best thing ever. I just need to say, the best thing ever. Oh my god. Like, tickled me so much, and it was so good to see she really tickled my partner as well. Like, he was laughing so much, and I'm like, okay, if he's laughing that much and I'm laughing this much, then she is the best thing ever. So I just want an Edna Mode spin-off series when Brad Bird please bring it to fruition. But yeah, they were both really
Well-
good stories, and yeah, Disney's version of the Fantastic Four in a manner of speaking, and the way that they kind of made it sort of this quasi-futuristic, retro-futuristic thing, similar to Fantastic Four in certain aspects, with like the way the characters were designed and the way the tech was designed. But then it was also kind of modern at the same time. So it was, yeah, that was cool. And I should just say number 2 is like, I wasn't expecting much because it's a sequel, but it was actually a pretty decent story. I thought, like, picking up immediately where the story from the first one left off, and continuing that and showing us what happened to them after, and yeah. And I really need to say that Elastigirl is probably my favorite of the family. I think she's the best, and I really love Holly Hunter's strong Southern accent as her voice. So yeah, I had a really good time with those movies. So is there a third movie on the way? Is that one of Disney's planned sequels, like Frozen 3 and Toy Story 5 and The Lion King 512? I don't know.
Don't know.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Hmm.
But
if you need a little extra Edna mode, you can jump on to Disney Plus and watch a little short film called Auntie Edna.
oh, is it just Edna and Jack doing
Yep.
shenanigans?
Mhm.
Great. I'm there. Sold. Sold.
8 minutes. That's all you need.
What? You'll watch this space for my review next time on that one.
And if you want more Jack, there's always the babysitter one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there's another one.
Yeah, Jack Attack.
Yeah.
Jack Attack. Perfect.
What happened to the babysitter within the first movie?
Yeah. That's clever. Okay.
Yeah, that's another short one for like 6 minutes.
Okay, great. I'll have to check these out.
Double feature.
Double feature. But yeah. So finally, did the Incredibles finally happen? Finally! Yay! I understand it all now. Oh, make a third movie. All right. That's the weekly watchings. Let's finish that. Move on into our next segment, which is, of course, the nerdy news.
Yeah, nerdy news.
This is the news in Nerdy News. The nerds that talk about the nerdy news. That is us who talk about the news that is nerdy. And now the queen of nerdydom, the hostess with mostess, Kendall Richardson. Take it away, Kendall.
Nerdy news time. Oh my god. This is exciting. We just seem to be having. What happened? Oh, I don't know. We just seem to be having. Oh yeah.
Chairs! So many chairs!
So many chairs. Yes, we seem to be having a lot of casting announcements lately, and we got the biggest one ever just dropped on us this week. In what is now being repeated by other online platforms. I've seen other TV shows and other movies use the chairs to put their thing on the back now. So it's becoming it's just like when they did the Avenge the Fallen black and white posters after Infinity War. And they, a lot of memes came out. But anyway, yes, of course, if you're watching this podcast, listening to this podcast, I am talking about the Avengers Doomsday cast announcement that broke me. Yes. So I have a list. I'm just going to read out the list of all the chairs. And then we'll discuss. So we have, this is the list. Chris Hemsworth.
No.
Wait. Well, immediately. No. Chris Hemsworth, Vanessa Kirby, Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, Letitia Wright, Paul Rudd, Wyatt Russell, Tenoch Mejia, Ebon Moss Bacharach, Simu Liu, Florence Pugh, Kelsey Grammer, hello, Lewis Pullman,
Beast.
Beast, Lewis Pullman, Danny Ramirez, Joseph Quinn, David Harbour, Winston Duke, Hannah John Carmen, Tom Hiddleston.
Who dat? New variant. Who dat?
Yeah, who dat? Yeah. Patrick Stewart.
But he died.
Ian McKellen.
Ah!
Alan Cumming. Rebecca Romaine. James Marsden. Channing frickin' Tatum.
Yes.
Wait, who did he play? I don't remember him in the
Shut up,
in the
Lister.
originals.
You know.
And then to finish, we have Pedro Pascal and Robert Downey Jr. That is
Iron Man's coming back.
Is
Is that Iron Man? Surely that's
that Iron
Iron
Man?
Man.
That is the as to this date casting announcement for Avengers Doomsday. There have been hints and teasers that there are more names coming, and I say that because for a list as long as the cast of this movie is, there's a list just as long for the names that are not mentioned that are quite surprising. The biggest one for me is Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, because basically when we had the end of Multiverse of Madness and Charlize Theron rocked up looking all purple and badass and was like, "There's an incursion coming. I need you to help me stop it." Clearly, this movie is going to be focusing on the incursion that's coming, which is going to lead to Secret Wars, which is probably going to be fucking Avengers versus X-Men now, by the looks of things. So it's just weird that Benedict Cumberbatch would be omitted from the cast list at this point, given that I feel like he might be a no-brainer for this movie. So we'll stay tuned for that. Of course, there's Tiona Paris as Monica Rambeau. She notably at the end of the Marvels slipped into the Fox X-Men universe and encountered Beast and her mum, Maria Rambeau. So in a different timeline. So these things have got to converge. And then of course other big characters that are not here. I mean, speaking of the Marvels, Brie Larson. Surely Captain Marvel's got to make a return as well. And I would also probably put my money on Tom Holland's Spider-Man, maybe. But then again, he's off doing the no one knows who I am anymore thing. So maybe he won't be in the movie. Plus, I guess his movie's coming out next year anyway. But a few people on the internet are like, there's no Spider-Man. Why is there no Spider-Man?
He's got his own movie. It's smack bang in between.
Yeah, so we can work around that. Of course, Iman Vellani as Miss Marvel might. I'd love to see her show up, but she doesn't need to. It'd be nice to have her show up, but just because I want to put the Marvels back together. Benedict Wong has to be anywhere Dr. Stephen Strange is. So please let's have Wong in this. Thank you very much. And yeah, Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, I think, should show up too, because there's some unanswered questions regarding him. And plus, I feel like, considering we're not going to have a Chris Evans appearance or a Scarlett Johansson appearance, I feel like having Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner in this to have a reaction of some kind to seeing a person who looks like his friend, aka Tony Stark, not being his actual friend, and just the devastation. I can see Ruffalo nailing a heartfelt tear-jerking reaction to his evil best friend. R.I.P. Science Bros. But yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it's fantastic. Of course, I'm the most excited about Tom Hiddleston being in this movie. That goes without saying. Loki's coming back. he doesn't need to. And I did say that after they finished season 2, Loki got an incredible ending. I wouldn't change it for the world. So I'm guessing him showing up here means it's a variant of him. But it would be kind of epic if, the man holding all the branches with the massive horns just steps in and goes, "Oi, stop fighting," or something. In that voice exactly too, because Tom Hiddleston totally would say "Oi."
And then
But what
RDJ as Doom just rips his spine out of his
No.
body. Yeah.
No,
Yes.
Yikes.
no.
This ain't no.
Got to
Mortal
somehow
Kombat.
lead into Battle World.
To Secret Wars.
Yeah.
But what I want the most, which I don't know if I'm gonna get, but I want Thor and Loki one more time. If you put in Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston in a movie together, one more time. I know Mike's shaking his head, and
No.
it's probably not gonna happen. because I
Logistically, it's not going to happen.
because I saw another article speculate about with the amount of actors that are going to be in this, it looks like it's going to be more than were in Endgame and Infinity War. So exactly how much screen time are all these characters going to have? We know the Russos are good at juggling that. We've seen it. So I don't know. But yeah. I can't. Yeah. Thunderbolts isn't even out yet, and here we are getting everyone from Thunderbolts except a couple of characters not appearing. Ooh.
Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Where's Taskmaster?
Yeah. R.I.P. I swear to God,
First 10 minutes.
She's the Slipknot of the Thunderbolts. It's happening. I
She's
don't
the-
want it to happen, but here we go. Also, just quick shout out. Maybe they could bring back America Chavez as well. Considering she only had one movie to kind of show herself off, and considering she has the powers to go back and forth between worlds, that might be helpful to the team, whatever the team looks like at this point, because it's a fucking big team.
Got the Young
Anyway.
Avengers as well.
Yeah. None of the young ones are really mentioned in the confirmed list, really. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. One final thought before I throw to Fulya. I just love the fact that when they showed us Paul Rudd's chair, it was a small chair. Of course. I was just very, very clever and on brand and funny. So yeah, I'm very excited for Avengers Doomsday. We all are hoping it's going to be a good time as the movies, and not just them trying to recreate the glory days, because there are a lot of people thinking that's what it is. And I've had friends that are like, I'm checked out. This is not enough to bring me back in. And then I've had another friend being like, I was checked out, but maybe I'll come back for this. So it's just, I don't know.
Last hurrah.
A last hurrah. Fulya, how excited were you to see name after name after name drop on Thursday morning?
Well, let's just say I didn't watch any of that, so I just heard about it through channels.
What were you doing for the last 8 hours?
Other things. I don't know. But I heard about all of the different people that are going to be there, and I am very excited to see so many names come through for this casting. And I'm interested to see how it's all going to work out, because these are all so many different characters coming from different aspects of the MCU that I don't know how when they come together interacting with each other is going to go. So that's going to be a mission for the Russo brothers for sure.
That's why there's 2 of them.
Yeah, so good luck to them. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to pull it off, though. And I think I'm just really excited to finally see the X-Men come into the universe now. I think that's what I'm more excited about, like, just in general, just seeing the X-Men. And come on, man, we needed Gambit to come back, and I'm so happy that Channing Tatum's coming back for Gambit. This is so... I'm so excited for that.
I mean, he's made a name for himself. What can we say?
Exactly. Oh, dude, I am so excited to see him come back. But yeah, I mean, just the fact that they're bringing back old cast members from the X-Men original. Like we already know that Patrick Stewart's been Professor X for quite some time, and he's come and gone through the MCU a few times. But getting
Come
Ian
to die
McKellen
again.
back, yeah. But then getting Ian McKellen back for Magneto and Alan Cumming for Nightcrawler.
That's sick. I'm glad to see him return.
That is
as well.
insane. I love it. I cannot wait to see him back in blue.
Back in blue.
It's gonna be
Back in
back
blue.
in blue. I'm
Two
just,
back in blue. Original Mystique.
Oh.
Yay.
Yes, Mystique's come back as well.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that we're getting Cyclops, I'm wondering whether there'd be a Jean Grey of some sort coming in, because that person hasn't been announced. If there is going to be a Jean Grey, that's the other thing. Like the X-Men that we're getting, are we getting like which version of the X-Men are we getting is what I'm trying to get at.
That's the thing. We don't really know. I mean, we can assume that it's just the Fox universe, which then begets the question: where are we going to get Deadpool and Wolverine showing up here as well?
Yeah, that too.
You know. So and yeah. So you're right to ask. You know, I mean, James Marsden's going to be in this, so Cyclops is coming back. So Jean Grey does feel like a big omission.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
So. Yeah, so I don't know if they're holding off on those type of characters for maybe Secret Wars potentially.
Maybe, yeah.
But it is, you know, like it does raise a lot of questions, at least with me. But it's going to be really cool. I'm also interested to see how Namor is going to get back into this, because the way that Black Panther 2 ended, he looked like he had some plans. And so now I'm wondering how that's all going to work here. So that's going to be interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But overall, the hype is building for this movie already. But we still have a year to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still have over 12 months.
Still got to film the bloody thing.
I know. But apparently it's in production. So that is some good news.
Yeah, they've started filming. So
Yes.
Holy shit. Mike?
Yes.
Mike.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
how how did you go watching name after name after name keep popping up on your feed?
I was there, man. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning to go to work. So I was just sitting on the toilet, just scrolling. I was like, "Oh, what's this?" I was like, "Oh, sweet. When's the next one?" In 15 minutes. Okay. You know, I'll just wait. So I came back to it. Double the speed. Blah blah blah. Skip. Oh, sweet. Blah 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 blah. Ah, sweet. X-Men are coming back. Yay! I saw Patrick Stewart. I thought, that's awesome. He's coming back to die again, and again, and again. And then Ian McKellen was like, I haven't seen him since Days of Future Past. Yay! He's getting on a bit. So
yeah.
What are they going to do? These two old men.
Yeah, I feel like those two will just be speaking roles, and then anything else will be the body doubles for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can get away with like Magneto in the helmet, and then there's someone else. Yeah, if that's the case, I want to see a scene with Ian McKellen and you know, I want to see Magneto with his children. Don't know how. Come on, I don't know. But I want that more than anything. That would be cool. And then officially calling them mutants as well. And Namor's here because, you know, first mutant. Well, a mutant. So we could sort of go into that bit. Alan Cumming is quite a surprise because after the second X-Men movie, he said, "I'm not coming back to this."
Oh,
The
I forgot
makeup
about
was terrible, and Bryan Singer.
that.
Yeah. Less we say about that, the better.
Mhm.
But it's great he's coming back. I don't know if he's going to do the makeup. Probably mocap, you know. And that Mystique as well. Like get her in the original like costume with the white dress and the skulls. I don't need to see barely naked Mystique again. I'm not 13. I'm an old man now. I'm more with the, you know, Elastigirl, mum bod.
Yeah.
You know, the Pixar mum. Yeah, this is great. And yeah, okay, Gambit. Okay, that'd be cool. Him with the roster of X-Men, and Cyclops. Yay, Cyclops. Or as my kids only know him as Donut Lord from Sonic.
Donut.
Yeah, his name's
That's
Donut
great.
Lord. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Jean Grey should come back somehow. Maybe they're doing a story after the Phoenix Force that she's coming back. But you don't want to do that because that would be your Chekhov's gun
Yeah.
of, oh, who's going to save us? Jean Grey with the Phoenix Force. Yay. Then you have to set that up. And no, I don't think they're going to do that. I think
Too much.
maybe they're just going to leave it be. But yeah, I think original X-Men are going to do stuff with X-Men versus the Avengers somehow. Maybe just going to set it up for Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion? No, Secret Wars. Maybe it was a scroll. Anyway, more scrolls. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with getting X-Men, and then like originality, and another bite of the apple, especially with Cyclops. I think they'll probably give Cyclops something to do instead of sidelined. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, because Cyclops was actually a pretty cool character in the animated series.
Yeah, he was leader. He was
Mm.
like being trained to be leader of the X-Men. And in the movies, in the 2000 movies, love triangle between them is like, yeah, that's cool, but was nothing for him to do. The main focus, and rightly so, it was to Wolverine, because you know it's Hugh Jackman. Yeah, maybe Hugh Jack. They're just gonna leave Hugh Jackman and Deadpool in the second one. Just say, oh, we need to save the X-Men, because you know we gave Marvel $2 billion because we're the best.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that would be cool if they get Deadpool in this, and somehow it's the other side of the fourth wall where he's talking to thin air. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you talking over there? And then Deadpool and She-Hulk can have a conversation within the fourth wall. That'll be interesting. Nexus beings talking to the audience. And yeah, Elizabeth Olsen as she's like, what are you guys talking about? It's like, ha! That's somehow she's there. What are you guys talking about? Come on, get with it. I don't know.
Nice.
Which Quicksilver though? To come back.
Neither.
Neither. What about Ralph
No.
Boner? He needs to come
I
back.
can't. No. No, they brought back Ralph Boner, and it made the Ralph Boner joke worth it, in my opinion. So we're fine.
Boner. I'm done.
Boner.
I'm happy.
Fabulous. I'm glad to hear that. All right, let's move on to the rest of the show. With some more casting, as I hinted at earlier. Except this one is for something else that we are all fans of, and that is Only Murders in the Building. Season 5 has, of course, begun production, and we've got some casting that's coming out from that. We missed this one from a couple weeks ago. Apparently, Keegan-Michael Key has joined the cast.
I had no idea that was.
I know. Yeah,
I slipped through the cracks.
it slipped through the cracks. But the other two big names that were announced this week are Christoph Waltz and Renee Zellweger, 2 Oscar-winning actors. Very cool. We don't know what they're playing in terms of their characters at all. For some reason, though, I have this wish for Christoph Waltz to be sort of this Benoit Blanc sort of detective to kind of butt heads with everyone in the Arconia. So that could be funny. I'm curious as to what Renee Zellweger will bring, what kind of character she's going to play. I feel like Keegan-Michael Key is probably just going to play someone he usually always plays, which is fine because he's funny and we enjoy him. But yeah, this makes me more excited for the upcoming season. Later this year, we'll get to find out all about these new additions to the show. So bring it on. Fulya, what are your thoughts on these actors joining the cast of this show?
Well, I am very excited to see Keegan-Michael Key's going to be joining the team because that's going to be a lot of fun. Considering that everybody, seeing Keegan interact with Martin and Steve.
Yeah.
That's going to be so hilarious. I can't wait. I can't wait to find out what his character is. Just from the trailers. Just anticipating for a trailer now. Yeah, Renee Zellweger, that's an interesting cast. I feel like she's probably going to be like a boss lady of some sort, or maybe like another tenant in the Arconia, potentially, we're going to be coming across. And probably same with Christoph Waltz. But these are really good casting announcements. I kind of like what I'm seeing so far. So, you know what? I am ready. Give it to me. It's going to be fun.
Excellent. The exact reaction I was hoping for. And I knew we'd get. Mike, what are your thoughts on these actors joining Only Murders in the Building?
Awesome. So awesome. Just trying to think who's going to play themselves. It would be fun for Christoph Waltz to play himself. Because otherwise people go, he's the killer, clearly. He's the bad guy and everything, so yeah. That's the red herring. And in this, he is the killer. Christoph Waltz is the murderer. He's jealous. Maybe. I don't know. I really want them to like say the person that's playing themselves is the killer. I really want that. I was hoping
straight out, just be like,
yeah.
I'm
That
the
would
killer.
be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
That or Tom Hanks. You know, the nicest guy. You know, the nice guy is not so nice, but he's the murderer. I'm David F. Pumpkins. Anyway.
I would love to
David
see Tom
S.
Hanks be part of this cast.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Yeah. Good times.
I mean, I'm still banking on that because from last season, I worked out that Steve Martin is actually in this universe. So I want Steve Martin to be in this as well.
You still want that to happen?
I still want that to happen. If I was writing it, I would do that.
Nice.
So I'm happy. It's all cool. Yeah.
It's all cool.
I haven't really watched much Renee Zellweger in anything, so that'll be cool. I know of her. I know she writes a diary.
Well,
and that's it.
I mean, I'm curious to see her because she's quite good at comedy and she can be very profound in a dramatic role too. So it'll be nice to see what she can bring. All right, we got one more thing to just quickly touch on in the news, and that is we have some casting for the upcoming Nickelodeon-produced animated Avatar: The Last Airbender film that was announced last year. Steven Yeun, speaking of Invincible, is joining the cast. Now, they haven't said who he's playing, which is interesting because for those who know or are aware, Steven Yeun is already in the Avatar universe as a voice. He played the original Avatar Wan, who made an appearance in the Legend of Korra series. So it would be interesting to see if they bring Wan back for something. They probably don't need to, but I don't know what the story is going to be. So that could be fun to explore more about the first Avatar. But yeah, or he could just be voicing someone else. We don't know. I think they'd already announced some other actors in the film, but I've lost my list of the other. Oh yes, Dave Bautista's also going to be in this.
Woo.
That was the other big name. Yeah, so that's really cool. Yeah, so we'll see how it pans out. I'm excited for this. Definitely, it's the first of 3 films in a planned trilogy. And it's going to be coming out at the beginning of next year in January. So, I'm hyped. Let's go. Steven Yeun is amazing. So, anything with Steven Yeun in it, I'm pretty keen. So, yeah. Excellent. Fulya, thoughts on this casting?
Honestly, I don't mind. I am blanking on the character that he played originally, but as in can't picture it in my head. But hey, the more the better. I know that Steven Yeun's pretty good. He's a pretty good actor, and voice actor. He's been in a lot of animated things as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings.
Nice. What about you, Mike?
Really, really excited. He's known for his face roles, but he's actually gone into voice acting really, really well. And there's something in Invincible that you're not up to it yet, but it sort of goes, oh, he's pretty good. He's pretty good at voiceover acting. And I'll just leave it at that because it's a good little thing that he does. Yeah, and Dave Bautista. I heard that he's probably being the villain in this as well, which is kind of cool because he can do villainous roles as well with the sort of the voice that he has. Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait to add to the mythos of Aang. But the team's all grown up.
The team is all grown up, yes. It's going to be a good time.
Before Aang dies.
Before, yeah. Spoilers.
For Legend of Korra, yeah.
Yeah. It's only been over for like 10 years. Cool. Cool. That's the nerdy news for this week, which means it's now time to
Yes.
roll on up to the trailer park.
The trailer park.
Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers. Yeah.
Okay, it's trailer park time, and to kick things off, we have another trailer for the very anticipated, exciting, upcoming arrival of Andor Season 2. Finally happening. Oh my god. Yes. They didn't really show us too much more. Just kind of really building the hype here, adding the peril, the rebellion, the lots of bad things in the works here. So yeah. It just looks great. It looks like they haven't missed a beat since the first season as well. Like, it looks like it's just a complete, like, instant continuation. Like, I'd be surprised if there was a time jump. I mean, there very well could be a time jump, but I feel like this is just going straight in. Or did we already say there was one? Remind me.
I think there's going to be 2 time jumps within the show. Like,
Okay.
it's going to start off where they are, and then jump up. It's like the start of a rebellion. So basically, Rebels, the TV show, all the way up to when they kickstart into Rogue One. So I think they're doing. Yeah, I think they're doing like they did with Arcane, 3 episodes, then 3 episodes, then 3 episodes. I think that's how they're doing it.
So you're saying we're getting it in chunks? I think you're right.
Errors.
Let me just double check.
What did the DJ call his first son? Eric.
Yes, you're correct. We're getting 4 chunks of 3 episodes. I feel like we have discussed this before and I just completely forgot. So, my apologies.
That's all right. There's a lot of stuff to think of.
There's a lot of stuff to go through. But yeah, it looks great. I'm really kind of cool with and interested to see more exploration of course, we've talked about Cyril Khan, his storyline. He seems to be amping up the rebellion here as well. Of course, something's going on with Deidre Miro too. Something's happening. I'm curious to see if she's gonna flip, if she's gonna stay as a part of the Empire, or if she's gonna defect. That could be interesting. And then I'm also here for more Mon Mothma, because Mon Mothma's great. And
can't wait for her flip.
O'Reilly. Yeah, Genevieve O'Reilly's fantastic, and yeah, we're gonna get to see her. Yeah, her flip. You're right. That's gonna be fabulous.
I think she. I got a bet. She's gonna be the first person in Star Wars to say, "Fuck it, I'm out."
Fuck it. Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. Fuck you. Fuck the Emperor. Fuck this. See you, bitches. I'm out.
Then, of course, to wrap up my thoughts, the one thing I'm most excited for in this season is the return of K2SO to the Star Wars universe. We do see a yes. That's probably him, I would say, considering it was a stormtrooper he sent flying.
Yeet!
Yeah, yeet off the side. So yes, more K2SO, exciting times. Yeah, keen for this. Fulya, how keen are you for Andor season 2? Did this trailer do more hype things for you?
Say I've watched that trailer twice, and because there was so much going on, it went over my head. I couldn't get I couldn't get it to stick. So there's a lot happening. They've essentially decided to chop in every little whatever scene they can from every episode and just thrown it into this trailer. And I'm just like, I have no idea what's happening. My brain just imploded.
I think that's the best thing. We sort of we know where it came from and we know where it's going to go. This is just a meet in the middle.
Yeah. So I'm kind of confused as to what's going to happen, but you know what? That doesn't bother me because I'm still going to be watching it regardless, and hopefully it all makes sense when I do watch it.
We can only hope.
Yeah, we can only hope.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. We can only hope.
But yeah, no, excited to see. Obviously, we're getting our Mon Mothma. I am really excited to actually see where Cyril's story arc ends up going. So that'll be really cool. The return of Cinta and Bix and Ben Mendelsohn, man.
Yes, Mendo.
Critic.
He's in Marvel and Disney, and we love it. He's getting all the Disney money.
And keeping his
Disney
accent.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky man.
He doesn't have to change it. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, look, I'm ready. I'm ready. And I'm also ready to find out how K2SO ends up becoming Cassian's right-hand man, right-hand bot.
Friend.
That's going to be interesting.
Let me tell you about my robot friend.
Nah, I'm ready. I'm hyped.
Nice. Mike, I'm guessing you share the same sentiments.
Nah, I think it sucks. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to skip it. Yeah, I basically said everything that I want to say. I can't wait for this. And yeah, just a little meat in the middle. I can't wait. When's this coming out?
Yes, well, Andor Season 2 is almost upon us. It'll be here on the 23rd of April on Disney+.
3 episodes.
Yes.
3 episodes in one go.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Oh my god. Cancel all my appointments. It's happening. Alright. Our next trailer. Switching gears here. This is an action movie starring Josh Hartnett in the lead role, and it's called Fight or Flight. To me, this kind of just looks like Bullet Train, except it's a plane. Because it's got similar kind of vibes, and Josh Hartnett has got like off blonde bleached hair, looking a bit by the wayside here. But this kind of looks fun. Like, I feel like this might have some elements of comedy to it that kind of interesting. The fighting is a little stylized as well. And yeah, it maybe showed too much. Like, they probably didn't need to show the part about like, oh, there's a hit out on you now, Josh Hartnett. Now, how are you going to get out of this one? They probably didn't have to show that, but that's fine. But yeah, it looks interesting. Everything. It probably would have been a cheap movie to make. The entire thing takes place on a plane, essentially. So that's easy money. But yeah, I hope it's good. It looks good. It looks fun. It looks like a, easy watch. Don't have to think about it too much, and just enjoy yourself. So yeah, I don't have too much to say about that one. But Fulya, what do you think? Does this pique your interest in any way, shape, or form?
This trailer was 2 minutes and 24 seconds, man. It was too long.
Oh,
it was too
you're
long.
not wrong, actually. Yeah, whoever edited the trailer Did not do a great
And
job.
most of that was all the action that was happening on the plane.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to see everything. We're going to see it all anyway. Just give us the highlights for like a minute and a half. Boom, out. Maybe that's even too long. But I don't know. These type of movies that are just all action and no story is not really my thing, to be honest. So I don't think I'll be seeing this myself. But it's, you know, interesting to see that Katie Sackhoff is in this film, which is interesting.
We love Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah. The other thing I will also mention, just in terms of like, yes, it would have been cheap to make because it was in one location, but the choreography of the fight scenes would have been intense to get that down right. And considering the cinematography that they had to go with, there's a lot of cuts between characters for these fight scenes. So it may have been cheap, but I feel like it was very time consuming to do. The filming of this particular movie would have taken quite some time to get it right. And a lot of wires, I'm going to say. Lots and lots of wires. But not my style of movie, to be honest. So I'm probably not going to be watching this.
That's fair enough.
Why are you even shocked?
I'm shocked all the time. That's how I stay alive.
How he stays alive. Does this movie keep you alive, Mike?
It was kind of fun. I didn't know anyone in it, which is good. Josh Hartnett, I had to look him up. He's the dad from Trapped.
I still haven't seen that.
It looks very different. It's like, who's this guy? And and Katie Sackhoff. That's cool.
Yeah.
It does look like Bullet Train in a way, but it's on a plane now. What's next? On a bus. Traveling.
No. Deadpool and Wolverine already did that one.
On a bus.
Yeah.
I was thinking Speed. Yeah. This type of movie crossed with Speed. You have to keep it going or it blows up. Yeah, the action, the fighting choreography is pretty good, and yeah, I think the trailer went a bit too long. Put everything that they wanted into it. It's like, here's the stuff that you would put in the trailer. Yeah, just chuck in all of it. Look at it. It's gonna be cool. Yeah, leave your brain at the door time. And just watch people just beating the living piss out of each other. I'm all for that. But what I'm not all for is someone shooting a gun on the plane, making a hole in the window, and the whole thing blows up. I've seen that in Mythbusters, and it doesn't work at all.
100%. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mythbusters ruined television. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks, Adam.
Ruined the movie magic.
You pieces of shit. Anyway,
Hey.
when is this going out, Kendall?
Well, if you want to check out Fight or Flight, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer than everything else in Trailer Park this week, because it's coming out on the 28th of August. August. Cool. One more thing to discuss. And that is, of course, another new trailer for season 2 of Doctor Who, of the new Who.
The new Who.
The new Who, as we like to call it on this podcast, or at least I do. Yes, another cool trailer. Looks good. It looks great. I can't wait to watch more of this stuff. And yeah, just seeing a little bit more of all the different stories we're gonna get this season, and it just looks really good. Like they've got Disney money now, so the production value has skyrocketed, and the effects look great, the sets look great, the costuming's fantastic, and there's going to be an episode where it's going to be 2D animated as well. Probably not the whole episode by the looks of it, but a portion of it.
Yeah.
Snippets will be animated. And I just kind of, for someone like myself who really has started criticizing the use of like popular music in trailers, because I just think it's done to death. I just really liked the way they used Phil Collins in this trailer. Like, it was just actually kind of, it gave me all the warm and fuzzies hearing like him singing, Take Me Home, and combining it with the Doctor Who score and making it epic sounding. It was just kind of cool. So yeah. And I'm really just excited to see Doctor Who's take on Eurovision, to be honest. So Fully is not looking forward to that. But yeah, I don't have too much to add because it didn't show us too much more that we hadn't already seen in the previous trailers. So it's just generating again more hype. But it's cool. It looks great. So I am excited. Are you excited, Fulya?
I am excited. It's going to be one hell of a roller coaster ride again, as per usual. Whenever we watch a new season of Doctor Who, and now that the Doctor is currently -1 of Ruby, and now he has to go find another companion to ride along with him for the season, in the form of Varada Sithu, who's going to be playing Belinda, the nurse. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to where their little adventures take them. We got to see snippets of them, going into periods, into eras. The animation one is probably going to be one that I'm going to be looking forward to the most. Just to see, because that style of animation is definitely a lot different to what I've seen, and it looks interesting. So I'm kind of looking forward to actually seeing where how that all works in terms of what the episode's going to be about. And yeah, like it's just going to be some good fun, I think. And obviously there's going to be some tears for sure, rolling down the Doctor's cheek a lot more.
In every episode.
In every episode.
Every episode!
He will yell and scream and cry. The angry cry is a real thing. And yeah, look, I'm actually looking forward to seeing where the Doctor's journey goes in this season. So it should be fun.
Yeah, it will be fun, I think. Mike, obviously you're in on this. You don't need any more trailers to convince you to keep watching this show.
I don't know. I might give it a miss this year. Too much to watch.
What did you think of this? Did you think we needed another trailer to just show it off a bit more, or just they're just trying to keep it in the consciousness, I guess, of the viewing public at this point?
I think keep it in the consciousness because it's very easily. Unfortunately, yeah, it's sometimes forgettable, and the what do you call it? The promotional side of it is like from last series. It was a bit lackluster. I mean, it didn't really give a big shout hooray, especially past Christmas special. It's like, oh yeah, we're coming back for a Christmas special to make sure you remember it. So I'm happy that they're actually doing a bit more, and no doubt they'll probably. Oh, hold on, it comes out in April. Never mind. I thought they were going to squeeze another trailer in. I don't think they will, because it's only a couple of weeks. I'm happy because I'm having a look at the wiki. I'm happy that there's a lot more writers in this season than previous season. Like get more voices out there instead of just solely Russell T Davis. And yeah, just every episode looks interesting. With probably the big highlight is the one where they go 2D animation. They look like Hanna-Barbera characters. I can't wait for that one because the bad guy is a cartoon voiced by Alan Cumming. So yeah, another thing to add to the thing. And what's great about this year is this year's the 20th anniversary of New Who coming back. It was the 26th of March, so it was this week, and it was absolutely trounced by the casting by Doomsday that day.
Oh,
fuck you, Marvel. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Rose, the episode, but no, we have to talk about Marvel. Marvel sucks now.
Wow.
Yeah, I've said downhill. No more. I'm not watching it every meh.
No more.
No more. Yeah, Mr. Ring-a-Ding is the cartoon's name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mr.
Very-
Ring-a-Ding.
Very rubbery hose animation where they, Cuphead and Mugman sort of thing. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
And I'm here or there with the Eurovision version. Okay, that's okay. So when's this coming out?
Very soon. Also, just before Andor hits our screens on Disney Plus, we'll be watching Doctor Who Series 2 when it drops on the 12th of April.
Series 15, thank you. Anyway.
Yes, Series 15.
Not long to go.
Not long to go. Oh my god. Well,
Yes.
speaking of Doctor Who.
20th anniversary, yay!
Yay! It's time
For?
for the Wibbly,
Oh, that one.
the Wobbly,
Yay!
the Timey, the Wimey. It's time for
Yee. For?
Culture.
My
Yes.
screwdriver's broken.
Oh no,
Oh,
can't
no.
have that. We're all in danger if your screwdriver breaks.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, no.
What did it do?
What to do? It is time for Talking Who, Popcorn Culture,
Yes.
Doctor Who, Series 6, Episode 13, the season finale of Series 6, The Wedding of River Song.
Yes.
Yes.
Did it?
So this
Did it stick the landing?
did it stick the landing. This is where it was all leading to silence will fall when the question is asked and the doctor must die. Yes. Lots
The
of
question
setup.
that must never be answered.
Yes, the
Hidden
question
in plain sight.
hidden in plain sight. Yes. That was. I've got thoughts. Anyway,
We'll get
I
to it.
have
In it.
I have thoughts on the ending. But
In one word,
overall,
what would you? In one word, how would you explain this episode?
How would you describe this?
I go first. Clunk.
Clunk. Yeah. Look. Overall, it was fine. I was just curious to see how it was all gonna land and play out, and in terms of, the Doctor knows he's known for a little bit now that he's going to die, and he has to accept his fate and go on his way, and otherwise, shit's gonna get extra wibbly wobbly, as it does, as you see in this episode. I like how they presented that, as well. I thought that was kind of fun, but just in terms of this being, big finale after this big setup, I don't think a lot of it was as epic as I would have liked. It was fine, like some parts of it were fine, but also I feel like this could have done with a two-parter, maybe, or something else. I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think. I think it's a fine episode of Doctor Who. I really liked Alex Kingston's performance as, essentially two versions of River Song, in this episode. She was really good. So, but she's always really good, so that's a given. But and Matt Smith was good as well. So yeah, there was some interesting things. And I didn't see it coming how he got out of the whole, having to die situation. But yeah, I have thoughts about the ending, and we're gonna have a big discussion about it. Fulya, how did this episode go for you overall?
It's all over the place, but I suppose that's because of the fact that it's the whole time jump thing where he's trying to explain what's happening and how everybody, all of time is sort of happening at once, so it kind of makes sense in a way. But it was an interesting episode, and it just took me a moment to sort of get a grasp of what was happening, and then I realized, he's telling the story of what's happened and why he's supposed to die and all that sort of stuff. And it was just interesting seeing him dressed as in these like Roman robes and scraggly, scruffy hair with a full-on long beard and
Soothsayer. Where's the soothsayer?
Talking to Winston Churchill in current times, or what is supposed to be the current times. It was an interesting episode, but it was an okay episode. It was all right.
It was all right. Was it all right for you, Mike?
No. Cards on the table. I did not like this episode, like at all. Writing, execution, and also being the first overarching story, and we need something to finish it. Okay, there you go. And also the sort of get out of jail free card was clunky, and the only notable thing about it was the acting, which is good. Otherwise, back to the drawing board, please.
Back to the drawing board. Do you remember having that same reaction 15 almost years ago when you watched this?
No, it was worse. Because I'm not a big fan of people voicing the title of a show. It's a he said it thing. I don't like that. And they said it so many times at the end. Not to cut to the end, but that just made me go, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this era of the Doctor. I'm waiting until Peter Capaldi comes. Even though I didn't know Peter Capaldi was coming. I was just waiting for the next Doctor. It's like, no, don't like this. I don't like this at all. This is confusing for confusing's sake, and it's stuffing around and stupid. I don't care. But I've mellowed out, going, okay, I can see sort of the benefits in this. And one of them being we'll probably talk about later. And yeah, it just felt clunky to me, and I wish it was more. Like, absolutely wish it was more. Like, I never want to see Doctor Who fail, and it just failed for me in this. It's upsetting.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's definitely
But I don't want to poo-poo it because you're a new person to Doctor Who, and I never like doing that.
I know, but you've made it clear to me over the months and couple of years now, I guess, that I've been involved in watching all this. Of the fact that Doctor Who, when it's good, it's really, really good, but when it's bad, it's not. It's like it can be really, really bad, and it has its ups and downs in between. So this is just unfortunately another one of those down moments. I think it just happens.
And
Every
it's the
show
finale
goes
to a season too.
Yeah, so it's shit that it's the end. Yeah. There's some doozies that have ended some seasons over the years, and people have opinions and whatnot. And I've seen worse season finales than this. So that's fine. Yeah, no, we'll get into the nitty gritty of it in a sec. Yeah, I don't even know where to start. I mean, like, the whole kind of overarching thing of we're just thrown straight into post River killing the Doctor. We don't know what's happened. We're just suddenly in this time period where time has stopped at the moment the Doctor should have died, and everything in time is existing in the one time stream or timeline or place or whatever. So you've got pterodactyls flying around, you've got cars in hot air balloons flying around, you've got a train going into the Great Pyramid for the reasons. It's all very it's a clever kind of mishmash of things, but it is kind of done, I guess, for just that shock value of like, oh, things have clearly gone topsy-turvy. I did like that it was a good excuse to bring back Winston Churchill again, because he's a good addition to Doctor Who. I think he's fun, so he's having a good time. And yeah, just as a method of, I don't know. I kind of wish they'd told us what had happened first before this, which is weird because I feel like I don't usually say that. I like when shows and movies kind of throw you in blindly and then take you back and show you how things went. But I think for me, because we were waiting so long this whole season from the very first episode to find out if they were going to stop the Doctor from dying or not, and then they just drag it out again by showing us this extra stuff. That does connect. Of course, it connects. It all makes sense. But I don't know. It just didn't, like, it looked great, but it didn't really serve the purpose for me. Like showing all the, I don't know. There's just something about it I liked but didn't like. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm making sense right now. Fulia, what did you think of them just diving straight into this one time period and the way they kind of, showed us everything happening everywhere all at once, as some might say?
Bagel.
Bagel,
yeah. Look, honestly, my brain kind of melted when I saw everything happening, and I was a bit confused as to why Winston Churchill was using, current lingo, and then all of a sudden, the Doctor is the one that he's talking to, and yeah, it was a little bit mishmashy. I didn't mind it too much, but it's like the moment I saw the pyramids that had a train running through it, and then on the side of it, it had the giant American flag, Area 52, and I'm like, okay. That was an interesting sort of thing to place. And yeah, no, look, I don't know how much so I'm like you, Kendall. I don't mind when they jump ahead, tell the story, and then be like, let's just show you what happened previously, like in the timeline or whatever. This one, for whatever reason, it just jumped around a bit too much. It jumped back and forth a bit too much with the whole storytelling thing with with the Doctor and Winston Churchill, and then going back and forth and explaining how he still is alive and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, not the best of episodes. So I watched it, but I couldn't. I don't know the word. Like it just didn't really stick the landing for me specifically. And I'm thinking, and the other thing, like I was thinking to myself, I'm like, this is how they ended a season. Why would they do it this way? I know that the whole point of this particular season was that the Doctor knew that he was going to die on this certain date, but like it just didn't really work out the way that I would have at least liked when I was watching it.
Yeah, because I get what they were trying to do, but I feel like they needed to just go straight to it instead of kind of adding in extra crap, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Mike, do you feel the same way, or were you more on the side of no, it kind of makes sense to frame the episode like that because of how it ties into the story?
For it being a singular episode, yes. But if I was to change it, it would be they wouldn't have this cold opening. They would have the Doctor trying, like from the previous episode, trying to find a way to outwit it, like what he was doing when he's soothsayer telling him. And all throughout, and then he says, "Okay, this is too impossible. I need to do the whole thing," and then they do the river, not doing it, and then everything's shoot the Doctor, and then without shooting the Doctor, and time has changed, and then things are going haywire. Then you have the end of the first episode, and then wait a week is like, and then you can have the cold opening of everything screwed up. I think you just need another episode just to cement the fact that time is being crazy and stuff. Elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
It's been done before. From the previous season, when the Doctor is put in the Pandorica and time has been rewritten and stuff. It's been done before from the previous season.
So Moffat copied his own homework, basically.
Yeah, he copied his own stuff.
I forgot about that.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. That is a good thing, because the Pandorica was a bit of payoff, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? You can't change the past. And you can't change a fixed point. But apparently you can.
Yeah. I feel like the thing I'm learning from Doctor Who is like, rules? What are rules? They don't matter.
Canonical? What's that?
Yeah. Where we're going, we don't need rules.
Where we're going, we don't need consequences. Make it up as we go along. Good fiction does. Anyway.
Good fiction does. Yeah, and then we see the Doctor on the end of his farewell tour, I guess, as he's trying to figure out what the silence are doing and what the question is, and all that stuff, and he kind of just goes from one beastie to another beastie as he's trying to to get his answers. The skull pit was kind of terrifying. Thanks,
That was
Moffat.
cool. That was cool.
It was cool, but it was terrifying because I hate
I didn't like the walls where they start turning and
moving.
Like,
No,
they move and
the
face
pit.
you. That was creepy.
The pit. That was creepy, but then the pit fucking ended me. I was just like, nope.
I did like the explanation of why there's no rats.
That was fun. The fact that the skulls eat the rats.
And everything else.
And everything else, apparently. Yes. Including a Viking alien who likes to play chess.
Who's Mark Gatiss in disguise?
Oh, was it Mark Gatiss?
Yeah.
I was wondering that.
Great. That is fantastic. But yeah, there was a lot of a lot of little. The Doctor's clearly, heading towards his doom and figuring out the reason. Like, doesn't he say at one point, he's like, at least I should know what I'm dying for or something? I feel like he says something like that.
Mm.
Yeah. And then the whole part about that I really liked was, if it's time to go, remember what you're leaving. Stuff that was good. But then the other thing I just wanted to quickly mention was the mention of Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart passing away.
Mm.
Now I'm guessing that potentially a reference to the actor that played the character passing in real life, Michael?
Here's some history lesson. It was this year that during production, Nicholas Courtney, who played the Brigadier, died.
Okay.
And they've been trying to get him onto the show, but health. But he did get into an episode of the Sarah Jane Adventures, so that was a bit of fun of Sarah Jane with the Brigadier. And yeah, it was this year, and it was very poignant that they actually did the reference here, where the Doctor is trying to escape death and try to call up the Brigadier. This one last hurrah, and the Brigadier died peacefully in his sleep. So it sort of shook the Doctor to say, okay, I'm done. So internally, it sort of worked for the Doctor's story as well as the Doctor character. Of you can't really cheat death, and no matter how hard you try. Probably my criticism is newcomers to Doctor Who wouldn't know a single thing who the Brigadier is. But this does lead towards Kate being introduced in future seasons and episodes.
I figured, yeah. That's cool. Yeah, so the Doctor's last hurrah leading up, and they drop in the Tesselector one more time, and I didn't think that was going to come back, but then it did later on, and the Doctor's just gonna Doctor. Fulya, what did you think about we talked about how we jumped ahead, now we jump back, and we see how the Doctor is on his last kind of quest here. How did that play out for you? Did it feel fast and you had to kind of figure out your bearings as you were watching, or did it work for you?
Honestly, I think it kind of just happened a bit too quickly for me. And like he was sort of just pushing the story along as quickly as possible. And then when he got to the point where he brought out the envelope, the letters that he was going to send out to his friends, his best friends, to see him die on the beach. That was. It got a bit too rushed, I think, for me.
You
Yeah,
need more
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
2 episodes would have been much better.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mike, any additional thoughts? Do you feel this? You obviously feel the same, but do you have any other thoughts on this stuff?
I will mention the head that's in the room.
Yeah. The blue head.
The blue head.
The blue
Dorum Moldova.
Mm.
It's kind of weirdly symbolic that we talk about this character as well, because the person who played him, Simon Fisher Becker, actually passed away like this month, unfortunately. So, and this was his last time playing this character. So,
Oh.
I think, don't quote me on that. I think there's one more, but he's forever a head in a box from after the Headless Monks. So, and that's a bit of fun because you need the Doctor to talk to someone, because no one's there. Rory and Amy are doing Rory and Amy things, so that was a good thing, because the Doctor needs something to talk to. I'm just remembering handles at the moment. Fulya, do you remember handles?
Handles?
Yeah, he's in the next season.
I don't remember.
Okay. I'll leave it at
Maybe
that.
maybe when I see it, I will.
Okay. I'll show you a picture.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Doctor needs someone to talk to, even if it's a head in a box. And that's my contribution. Yeah, and then the Doctor swan song with River Song, and River decided to not do anything.
Okay, I remember handles now.
Yeah, that's handles. Another...
I look forward to finding out who Handles is.
Okay.
the no context right here for Kendall.
No context. I'm just
something to look forward to.
Picturing an alien with a head shaped like handlebars. I don't know.
You're close.
Not far off.
You're not far
Oh
off.
shit! Oh, that's good. Yes, River. The moment of truth comes. Yeah, the Doctor, ends up going back to the Lake Silencio, and yeah, we get the moment, and she's like, it's interesting the way the scene plays out with, like, she's so utterly convincing as to, like, she's in tears begging him, like, I'm not gonna do this. I can't do this. I love you. I'm not letting you die. I'm not killing you. And the Doctor's, of course, like, I have to die. It's a fixed point. There's no way out of this. But then, as soon as she discharges her weapon, and you're waiting for, because we've obviously seen how it played out in episode 1. We're like waiting for him to die, and then it doesn't happen. And then he's like, "What did you just do?" And then she's immediately just changed into just cheeky River Song, being like, "Oh, I just let off my weapon, and now it's screwed, so I'm not gonna kill you." And then everything just whites out, and then things start to get a bit more crazy, because according to River Song, fixed points can be changed. For a time travel show, and I know it's Doctor Who, and I guess, as we just pointed out, there's no rules. I feel like, does it go against what the show's about if they decide to do something like this, where it's suddenly there's no stakes? So I feel like there's no stakes now. If you set a precedent of fixed points mean nothing, then everything's going to be fine.
Well,
so I don't know if I like that much.
The best example is Waters on Mars, where the Doctor decides to change history. But then again, history does change, but the outcome is the same. And that, in a way, sort of could explain this episode as well, where instead of killing the Doctor, spoiler alert, it's not really a doctor, it's a meat puppet. But
it's a meat puppet.
But the outcome is the same. Like, the universe understands that the Doctor is dead now, except for 3 people. So
Yeah, see, that's
it could,
weird.
yeah, it could explain that, but there's a lot of legwork to get to that answer, which is stupid and dumb. It should be easy.
Yeah, because it's
not a string of conveniences, as well as, because we know that the astronaut suit can move by itself, and that explains having Little River being in there and being afraid, and to set her up to kill the Doctor so she can be in jail for killing the Doctor, but then all of a sudden she can change the outcome of the gun. It's clunky. It's clunky. Go back. A couple of more drafts. Do something else.
Yeah, does it feel like the plan was changed, or there was no plan, or the worst case scenario, there was actually this was the plan from the beginning?
We can only speculate, but Moffat was also writing Sherlock at the same time. And it seems like he was a little bit more focused on Sherlock than Doctor Who, because Doctor Who, you can do whatever because it's science fiction. Where with Sherlock, it needs to be more grounded and more thinky. And this one just sagged under its own pretentiousness of saying, no, you're the Doctor, you need to be the special one. And it's cool that's understandable, but he is merely a creature. He's not God, no matter how hard you've pushed that narrative.
Yeah.
He fell from the heavens. Yes, I get it. He is the savior allegory.
He is the savior allegory.
He needs to die for our sins. And come back in 3 years.
Yeah. Well, I have more thoughts to say, but we'll save them for the ending. But yeah, then, you know, of course, then we get to see Amy and Rory, and one thing I liked, and I'll say before I pass to Fulya, is the fact that, and correct me if I'm wrong, the reason Amy is aware of of who the Doctor really is, despite her initial appearance, is because of the whole crack in her bedroom thing. Does it go back? It goes back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I thought that was great. As something kind of little extra to throw in. You know, like it makes sense. You know, she's affected in some way by the way time has affected her. So I think it makes a lot of sense that she would be able to experience and remember both timelines at the same time because of what's happened to her.
She's been touched.
She's been touched. I thought that was really cool, and how her and River Song work together and everything.
Mother and daughter.
Mother and daughter. It's so nice to see them finally doing some things together. Yeah, now that we know who they are to each other. Fulya, how did this all kind of play out for you with, like, River kind of breaking the universe, breaking time, and sort of what that means for future stories of Doctor Who if fixed time points are, take or leave, I guess.
Actually like that happened. The fact that she decided that that she can just stop this fixed point from happening. The fact that it's called a fixed point made it really like frustrating for me to be like, then why can she change the things that happen here? This shouldn't be a thing. He should still be dying right now. It threw me for a loop, and the fact that she went from, especially when she went from crying, I don't want to do this kind of emotion, to all of a sudden being like, as you said, the Cheeky River song that we usually know. Just all of a sudden it just cuts to that, and I'm like, but no, why? This is so weird. It doesn't make sense. It's a fixed point in time. It's a nexus point. It should not change. Like, I like that she's doing what she can to make sure that he stays alive. But the fact of the matter is, she shouldn't be doing that. She shouldn't be dabbling with time.
Yes.
And
that's
so
right.
it kind of frustrated me when that happened. And then all of a sudden, when they ended up going into like this white void and, everything kind of changed, I was just like, the Doctor has the right to be mad. I get it. Why would you do that? And like, obviously the Doctor's smart enough to know that he has to plan ahead, and he did, but then River just ruined it. She ruined the plan.
It's all going well until meddling kids.
Yeah. I don't know.
Kids.
Yeah. That sort of section of this particular episode just really threw me for a loop, and I wasn't a fan.
No, that's very fair. That's very fair. Mike, you talked a little bit on this sort of stuff already. Did you have any other additional points, or shall we move on?
We can move on. I said my
Mm.
piece.
Yes, I appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad they found some way to include Rory in this episode, because he doesn't really have that much to do other than be oblivious to the fact that he's taking orders from his wife, and getting called. What was it? Captain Williams. Where the Doctor's like, what's his first name? Captain. It was a little bit funny. And then just, I think visually I did like the touch of two things. One, seeing the silence in those water tubes, just looking ominous, and as we found out later, waiting for the moment to strike. I really love the creature design on them. They look really creepy, and they sound really creepy. So off once again, as always, to the Doctor Who practical and effect and makeup departments, because you guys nail it continuously. But then the other thing I really liked was because everyone suddenly has an eye patch, and looks a bit weird and sus and evil, and I'm just like, oh no, like, because this is hilarious. As I press play on this on Amazon on my phone, because I cast from my phone to the TV, and the thumbnail they chose was the Doctor with the eye patch on, and I was like, oh, I feel like that's spoiling something. Not really, but as it
The
turned
Doctor's
out,
evil now.
the Doctor's evil. But yeah, I liked the reveal of the eye patches being hard drives, I think they called them, and like a way for the person who's wearing them to observe the silence
And remember him.
and
Yeah.
remember him exactly,
Yeah.
and not have to worry about
stay sort of
keeping
connected
score.
to it all. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was that was cool. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I liked Amy's look in this episode. She looked cool. I thought she was great. What else can I just quickly mention? Oh, I liked. I mean, this kind of. I feel like this is just Moffat being Moffat, but the Doctor trying to get Rory and Amy to hook up.
Little side mission.
A little side quest there, and just being like,
Doctor's a
he-
wingman.
yeah, just the phrase of texting and scones. It's like the 2011 version of Netflix and chill. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, and then of course, shenanigans quickly ensue after that when the Silence start attacking everyone, and everyone wearing an eye patch starts to get electrocuted. And then and then we get to see Amy be really dark for a minute because she effectively kills Madame Kavarian.
Yeah.
Hello. That was brutal, but I mean, that's a mum coming out and being like, you took my child from me, and now my baby is all grown up and I've lost all that time.
Again, yeah.
I'm never going to see my baby again. Exactly. And so that's a mum coming out and being protective and being pissed. But then the way that kind of comes back around at the end of the episode when she's like, even though River's like, that happened in a timeline, it doesn't exist anymore. She's like, yeah, but it still happened. I still
remember it.
Yeah. So I kind of like the way they played that. But I was not expecting that from Amy Pond whatsoever. So that was that was dark. But yeah, I did enjoy the way the episode started to get into gear a bit with the Silence doing something. As it all played out. Fulya, how did you feel as this all sort of stuff started to come together inside of Area 52 in the pyramid?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, it was So I particularly liked the little interaction that Amy and Madame Corvarian had. I was ready for that lady to be dead. She's an evil son of a bitch. I did not like her. And so, yeah, like the fact that she was still tied down to the chair, like she couldn't defend herself. But the fact that the Silence had already started turning on her anyway, before that, when it was all starting to go down, and all of the eye patches were starting to spark, and then she ended up getting hit by the spark as well, which was interesting. And you could see that she was trying to communicate with them as well. It's like, no, please don't. But the moment that Amy got the opportunity to be that protective mum, and just decided that she's just gonna let her die, and like that kind of did take me aback a little bit. I'm just like, wow, Amy. Harsh. Bit harsh, but okay. But the line that she also says after Madame Corvarian says, but you still save me though, because he would, and you'd never do anything to disappoint your precious doctor. But with the line that Amy delivers is, the doctor is very precious to me. You're right, but do you know what else he is, Madame Corvarian? Not here. And then proceeds to put the eye patch back on. Holy crap. That was very badass of her. But then the realization at the end of the episode where she's sitting there thinking, I killed a person. How can I live with myself now, knowing that I've done this? You know, the fact that she's also remembering it is the other thing too, because even though it happened in a different timeline, the fact that she's remembered that she's done this is fascinating to me, because it's like, how can you remember that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And considering
Leakage
with
from the crack.
Yeah, I suppose that would make more sense, but you know, especially with the silence being around, like you'd think that you'd forget a lot more, but yeah. No, it was. I think that was kind of like my favorite, maybe scene in this episode, and that was, yeah. It was just dark. Yeah.
It was very dark. What was your thoughts, Mike, on Amy Pond going to that place and how that all played out with the silence?
Yeah, I forgot that she did that. That she basically just let someone die. It's good that she talked about it later on, otherwise it would have been a bit weird not to mention it ever again. And that's not to say what happens in the future, but this sort of thing doesn't really come up ever again. So, flash and pan sort of thing, so unfortunately. But, you know, when you're traveling with the Doctor, you will do like, things that are morally questionable. Sort of brings back what with the Stolen Earth when the Daleks and Davros steal Earth and take them there, take them another area in the universe, and the Doctor sort of witnesses what his companions would willingly blow up the Earth just to save, you know, and he just feels crestfallen. It's like, I did this to people. I need to be alone, until he's not. So swings and roundabouts. And if the Doctor actually knew this, he would have something to say about it. And it's like, I'm glad that I chucked you home, because I don't want to see you die, and I don't want my badness to rub off on you, because I feel responsibility with your decisions, because I showed you this sort of world, and and the reason why you have this feeling towards this person because you're your baby and blah 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 is because you traveled with me and all that. So yeah, it would be an interesting thing to actually dive into, but they don't. So, and because this episode's terrible, but whatever. Next.
Well, speaking of terrible, shall we get into the ending?
Yeah, the wedding.
The wedding, the title of the episode. I was waiting for when and how this was going to come into play.
Not
the
even
wedding,
like an actual wedding. It was just a quick ceremony.
the wedding of River Song. Look,
Clunk.
Yeah, because it just, I don't know what the point of it was, other than because they established not long before this moment that, you know, when the two of them make contact, the timeline begins to resume itself, because these two people are supposed to come into contact, so it can lead to the Doctor's death. So they set that up, and then in whatever the Doctor's plan, you know, whatever it was this whole time, you know, as we find out, and then you know, he's still just pretending to everyone so he can get away with dying. you know, I guess, is it because the way I interpreted it, I guess, was because River says that she doesn't want him to die without knowing that he was loved, essentially. Which is kind of sweet. And so then and then I'm guessing that's when the doctor goes, okay, let's get married then. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, it's weird. The doctor is weird because, I mean, we know the doctor's weird, but the doctor's weird because they kind of paint him as this asexual thing. But then they put him with River Song, and then he just, I don't know, they get married and have this kiss, and it's kind of feels a little romantic, but it also doesn't feel romantic because it also feels like it's just a plot device to wrap things up in a neat bow, I guess. I was kind of really let down a little in the moment of like the doctor being like, I'm gonna whisper something in your ear, and then he tells Amy and Rory, it's like, I just told you my name, blah blah blah, whatever, and so they're like, oh my god, and I'm like, oh my god, he's her husband now, I guess, so she's got to know his real name, and I was like, oh, that's special, and then later on it's like, no, he said, look into my eyes and see what's really there. Which was just an unexpected twist of, him, as Mike, you so eloquently said earlier, being a flesh puppet, a meat puppet, as a way of getting around the fixed point death situation. None of that works for me. I don't know.
I don't like the doctor in a doctor suit.
I mean, because look, I was wondering why the fuck his hair was longer, because I was like, his hair is noticeably long. And then when they reveal the doctor as the doctor, I'm like, oh, okay, now it makes sense because his hair's back to normal. But no, I don't think this works for me in terms of, like, I think it's a really loose thing of like, oh, I'm going to only tell 3 people that I'm actually still alive.
Well, one person.
Well, one person that I'm actually still alive, and then we can, you can kill the Tesselector version of me, and we can just forget this whole thing. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think that's how that should work. I think that's you end the show at that point, like, or you find another way around it. I feel like they could have come up with a better way to conclude the whole thing, and we'll talk about the end in a sec. I want to keep that for a separate discussion. Otherwise, I mean, unless you want me to just go into like what's his face, Dorian thingo. Do you want me to just say my thoughts on that now?
He's a head in a box.
Get it done.
Head in a box.
All right, I'm just gonna Tesselector stuff, and then just this, the whole thing of just the question the entire time that was hiding in plain sight was Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Who. I feel like Moffat was trying to be really clever. I bet he thought he was being really clever. And I don't think he was being clever. Because it's just... I didn't like it. It felt like a cop-out. It felt like we were just being set up, and boom, there it is. Like, oh.
Wet fish.
Cool. Yeah, like, why are we building this up as like the question that must not be answered? It's staring us in the face. What is it? Oh, it's the name of the show. Yeah. I didn't like it. Like, it was, they were trying to be profound and ominous and shit, and with him just saying Doctor Who over and over again. I'm like, Doctor, shut the fuck up, please. Yeah. No, I didn't like it. And then, yeah, the way they explained him getting around the death, it did not work for me at all. So those are my thoughts. Fulia, how did it go for you? How did the grand climax work for you? Did the payoff get paid off?
I think there was a way around the fact that he was going to be alive, and that there was a reason why when he was speaking to the leader in the Tesseract body that he previously met in the middle of the show, there was a reason why they lingered when he left the room.
And I didn't like that either. I just had to say, because the Doctor was so defeated and defeatist, like, I'm on my way to my death and this is it and whatever. You know, he's trying to accept it. And then when they cut back to it and they show us the Doctor coming back and going,
however,
I'm just gonna, you know, he did a River song. He went from being so sad and somber to being like,
yes,
more to the
look at me.
story.
Whiplash. Anyway,
here's my plan.
Continue, Fulia.
So, yeah, that kind of had me thinking about whether or not he ended up doing that or ended up getting them to help him in some way. And my gut feeling was right by the end of it, when we find out that he was actually in the Doctor Who, what do you call it? The Doctor in a Doctor suit. He was in his own suit. And just everything, and especially when they revealed that, you know, this is what the Doctor whispered into River's ear, look into my eye, and we see miniature Doctor inside the eyeball, and he's just dancing. But like, look, I'm here, I'm alive. It just felt like, okay, well, I guess that's how he got around that, and that kind of felt cheap. It just felt cheap to me and lazy, kind of, in a way. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of the way it ended, because it was a very lazy way to get around it all, I feel like. So, I don't know. Like, it was like, overall, like I said at the start when we started talking about this, the episode was all right, but it does have a lot of flaws, and especially the way they decided to end the episode, which also concluded the season. This is a season finale, and this is how they decided to end it. I don't know. Yeah. It is what it is. It's like, you know, there's not much we can do about it. We can rant and rave about it. It's not going to change the fact that it's already happened. It was okay. I just feel like it was just very lazy writing.
Yeah. All right, Mike, take us home. Please tell us your thoughts on Doctor Who? Doctor Who?
Stop. It's not clever or witty. Because there has been that inside joke all the time. Like, every time someone says Doctor Who, it's like, yeah, it's been going on since the 60s. But just to make it pronounced and trying to make it profound doesn't work. Like, for me, it may work for other people, not for me. And the explanation of trying to get around the fixed point, but the fixed point is not that River actually kills the Doctor. The fixed point is people believing the Doctor is dead. And this astronaut shoots a meat puppet. That's the fixed point. Really? That's the fixed point? Where we've explored fixed points of people in a tragedy on Mars, or a fixed point wherever they used it. They're profound fixed points. But this one is someone in an astronaut suit shooting someone who's also in another suit. Because it has to be a fixed point, because otherwise time dilation doesn't screw up if they don't do it. Doctor Who's weird, man. And they made it out to be like, yeah, it felt like an afterthought, because if you remember all the way from the first episode, the reason why the Doctor dies is because when the Doctor starts regenerating, and if you shoot the person who's still regenerating, they can be killed outright. How does this meat puppet know how to do that and give off like generational like power and stuff? Is that a capability that they have to do that?
I think the Doctor had to be plugged in for that to happen. Maybe
To
that's how that works.
Maybe you're just throwing around sawdust or something. That doesn't work. It's stupid. And the setup and the payoff doesn't match the setup. Out of all the series endings, this is the most egregious, I reckon, because they probably had something in mind, but it didn't work, and they just needed something to finish it with. So they can go on to the next one, which is another Christmas episode. I think. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's a Christmas special. Yes.
Yeah. This is where I was just like almost checked out. It's like I'll watch it out of just morbid curiosity. Otherwise, I'm just waiting. Waiting for the next one. It's just the next one. Yeah.
Well, I guess you can say silence will fall when the question is asked, and it's not the kind of silence that they wanted.
No.
No. No. Well, I don't have anything else to add or say. You guys all good? You've vented. You've let it all out. You've praised. You've ranted. You've said your piece.
We're done. I'm done with it.
Next season's the last season for Matt Smith. Will it be awesome? Maybe, I don't know.
We're getting close to a regeneration now.
The next episode is called The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe.
All accounts, I think that was a good one. Because
Nice.
I don't think it has Rory and Amy or anything like that. It's just the Doctor doing a fun adventure.
Nice. A nice standalone episode then.
Yeah. Bit like the last Christmas episode, which was a good one. And that didn't really have Rory and Amy in it either.
No.
Bill Bailey's in this one.
Ooh.
Yes.
Can't wait. All right. That's it. Talking Who. The so So-so finale of Series 6. The Wedding of River Song. Cool. Series 6 is done. Popcorn Culture's done. And that means the show is done.
We're done.
We're done. It's time to hang up the boots this week. Cool. So let's take us out, shall we? 1, 2, 3. And that was a podcast called Fred. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky for all the latest for content.
If you like to listen to Freddy Alien, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts.
If you'd like to watch Fred the Alien, you can head over to youtube.com/Fred the Alien Productions. And if you're watching us right now, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of future content. And if you're watching us live over on Twitch, make sure to give us a follow, twitch.tv/Fred the Alien Twitch.
I've been a Kendall Richardson.
I've been a Fulya and Michael.
And I'm the busting for the toilet, I'm Michael Lister. And
You just experienced a podcast
called
Fred. Remember to eat beef.
Remember, Freddy lives, does he? Loki dies, he will again. And the Doctor will die and come back because of stupid circumstances.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember to look after yourself and your mental health, everyone.
Yes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Laters, gators. And...
See